Okay, so where we stopped here is on how the contact comes to be, right? So that's where we stopped. So we need to understand what is a contact. That's a even if we look at the basic meditation method, can be any tradition, anything. They are not they. It's very difficult to put the phassa contact in perspective. So it's better to start with feeling. Okay, that's a starting point because more um, gross or more you can feel it. So it's better to start that way rather than the socket and the switch. Okay, that's the best way of doing it. So all tradition, whichever it is, would only do that. So when we say meditation, it's all about sensations. That's a generic practice. Now we might say, or we might ask this question, then why it doesn't help us or why it helps us. So I'll answer both of them. It helps us to reach to a particular level, and that is required. Whether we are referring through Chuladasa or we are referring some other book or we are referring to Ajahn Lee, he's also written a very nice way of meditation. It's very good from Ajahn Lee. Apart from Ledi Sayadaw or Ubakin and then Goenka and all of that taken together, it's a nice starting point. There's no doubt. And we should start like that. There's no other way. That is, you can't jump into this 12-link formula or 12-link what we have or what we are covering from this for some time now without knowing what is meditation. So let me cover that little bit up so that we understand what we are trying to do now and how it shifts or how it transcends rather than shifting, how you need to transcend it. So when we say meditate, it means to get into an awareness. Okay. So there are two kinds of awareness. One is a basic awareness, just the base awareness. That's what Buddha Dhamma is all about. Just the base awareness, not awareness of a particular thing. Okay. And there's this awareness, the second awareness is about a particular thing, like sensation, like something else. So you need to take that thing to be aware of that thing. So when it comes to a thing, you can split it in two parts. One part, breath, another part, sensation. You can't learn art of meditation without any one of these two. Okay. So if we want to get into a wisdom path directly, it's not possible. It's just like somebody who doesn't know how to drive the car would love to drive the car. Aspiration is good, but doesn't work. So then what we are supposed to do? We're supposed to look at the breath. That's the starting point. Whether we follow this method, we follow that method, or our own method, whatever it is, that's the starting point of thing. The thing, one thing that can help us, irrespective of the religion, irrespective of tradition, irrespective of whatever it is. When we say dhyana in Sanskrit, jhana in Pali, Zen in Japan or Japanese, and Chan in Chinese, it means the same. It's just to be noticing, being aware of something, being in that. So all of them lead to the same thing of thingness, something. And that thing is breath. Because breath connects all the six senses. So you require that. So when I say body and mind, nama and rupa, or materiality, mentality, some books write it as materiality, mentality, some books write it as mind and matter, some books write it nama rupa, whatever we want to call that as. it is much beyond the descriptive thing. Just like there is a thing called as sleeper avenue. There's a thing. Okay, if you are aware of that thing, that there is no thing in that, then you are released. But there is a thing called sleeper avenue. There is a thing called Aryu. There is a thing called as Sheniel. There is a thing called as Chirag. There's a thing called as Bobby, and each one of them, like Veena. Who I'm just talking about those people who are in the video, not about those who are not in video. So that thing, if we were to cut it off completely, obliterate it, meaning remove it out of existence, then what happens? Then you're out of breath. That's the time when breath stops. So the Kaya Sankhara stops. Because there's no longer I left. So there's no point in breathing. Now you might say, then you're dead, right? No. The basic oxygenation or whatever that is required, that will be there. But the breath which is connecting to the six senses are cut off. So there is no contact. Without the contact, there can't be any feeling. And without the contact, there can't be any perception. And without the contact, there can't be any preparations or volition or choices or whatever we want to call that in English. That means Phassa Samudaya, Vedana Samudaya, Phassa Samudaya, Sanya Samudaya, Phassa Samudaya, Sankhara Samudaya. So if I want to attain on the side of Cheto Vimukti, release of the mind, it's through cutting off the phassa. So that state is Nirodha Samapatti, because there is nothing to experience as such. So that's the highest of the jhana you can go. Okay, now what's the starting point and what's the ending point? The starting point is the breath, and ending point is stopping the breath. Clear? That's the thing what we are trying to do, to come into no thingness. There's no thing. That seventh jhana, whoever practices it perfectly, is Cheto Vimukti 1. Then he goes to Neva Sanya Na Sanya, he becomes Cheto Vimukti 2. When he comes to the last one, Nirodha Samapatti, Cheto Vimukti 3. So the 3 levels of Cheto Vimukti. So the first level is 7, second level is 8, and the third level is 9. So what Buddha always recommends, to be on 8, don't be on 9. When dealing with the world, be either 7 or 8. 7 or 8, that's it. So what it really means is, I'm in office, but I'm not in office. Can I be in that state? Yeah, basically you can do that. You're working and not working. Yeah, you can do that. So there's no separation. The separation creates feelings and perceptions. What if there were no separations? Nothing to separate out. Like this is office and that is my home. And this separation causes anxiety and all of that, worries and everything. So the meditation is about cutting off the separations. There's no separation. And then there's no separation between people. There's nothing to separate. So can I be something? Oneness. It's called Ekatta and Nanatta. Can I enter into the 4 jhanas and also enter into all the 4 arupa jhanas So ekatta nanatta. So can I do that? If I do it, then it unifies the whole experience as though nothing existed, but yet everything existed. So this way of doing is what jhana is. Meaning this way of staying. I'll remove the word doing. This way of staying all the time is what jhana. And it's from basic word jhayati, jhayika, which is there in Aganya Sutta, means one who is inwardly meditating, not outwardly meditating. You are inwardly meditating. You are inside. You are not outside. Outside is closing the eyes and sitting like one rock. So in the outside meditation, you go by the number of hours you're spending. So you're going to say, I sat for 6 hours. And somebody will say, wow, how could you do this? So then he feels proud. Little by little, if he observes, it is the part of the rupa itself. Rupa has 3 characteristics: lahuta, mudita, and kamanyata. Kamanyata means you can wield it the way you want, you can bend it. So just like somebody doing yoga, if he keeps on stretching it, and then he can do it. Like our friend Bobby has learned the asanas. He does it pretty well at his home. And his daughter, Ashley, she does it pretty well. Now we might get surprised. How can she do it? Actually, she's not doing it. It's the matter which has that ability. She's only willing it. Meaning, Ashley is intending it. I want to do this. And the body is supporting it. So now we can see the material Latin mentality in a real different way. Otherwise, we can say Ashley did it or Bobby did it. But actually, no Ashley or no Bobby did it. The Rupa has an intrinsic quality of bending, stretching. It has. It is elastic. How do we know? Take steel, for example. Steel is tough, but boil it. At 50,000 degrees centigrade, it becomes water. So it lost the property of solidity. Now, if you really see a molecular mass, the mass remaining the same, but the property is changed. That means it is dispersed. So the atoms are now dispersed, making it lose the property of solidity. So then what happens? It becomes cohesive. So you can now bind it. So what do? Just make it so light, so liquid that you can fill it in a container. And when you put it in a cast, it just becomes casted iron. So we say it is casted iron. So from the mine as mud came to the furnace, they burnt it, and then they got the liquid. And from that liquid, you form whatever you want, just like gold. You turn it into ornaments, the same thing. So the goldsmith does the same. So why not this body? It does it. No much guessing that why this body cannot stay still. It can stay still. Can you sit for 6 hours? Yeah, why not? If you keep on practicing it, then it works, because it's property of body, not the property of the chitta. Sitting for long hours is not a property of chitta at all. Okay, that's kamanyata. Lahuta, lightness feeling. So when you start meditating, you feel light. Now who is feeling light? It's a body property. What are you talking? It's lahuta. It's a property of the body, which is matter. That is Patavi Apo Tejo Vayu. If the Vayu increases, then it enters into space. So let's take from the subtle to the gross and gross to subtle and see how it works. Space, akasa, which is totally devoid of matter, where it can hold matter but by itself has no matter. Right? So it can hold the sofa, it can hold Shaniel, it can hold Ariu, it can hold Chirag and his mother and everything around it as a house. And that space, it can hold it. But by itself, you can't see it. You can make what we can say, infer that I have taken this space. Just this body has taken a space, like this chair has taken the space. And on the chair, this body has taken the space. That we can infer. But you can't see the space. But you can experience space. So you can have spaciousness. Yeah, it's fine. It's absolutely fair. Now, in space is air and not separated out. Wherever there is space, there is air. See, I can't really pinpoint and say the air is here. No. If it is true, then you can't breathe. So you'll die. So air is wherever space is. Excellent. If air is wherever space is fire there wherever air is? Absolutely true. How do we know it? Take a matchbox. It lights up. It's conducive. Right? So it's there. Now, wherever fire is, can there be water? And in fact, yes, there is. There's moisture everywhere. Take a equipment which will measure the amount of humidity and you will come to know is there water. So on a thermometer, you can see the humidity. And you, as a temperature, you can say humidity of so and so. Without humid being there, your body will become evaporated. Or it becomes solid, just becomes rock. So we need to have some moisture. So moisture is water. Now, question comes, wherever there is water, can there be solid? And you'll be shocked with the answer. And the answer is yes, it is. Every molecule has the same property. So what are we trying to see? We're trying to see wherever there's Patavi, there is Apo. Wherever there's Apo, there's Tejo. Wherever there's Tejo, there's Vayu. Wherever there's Vayu, there's Akasha. And that's the property of matter, a complete matter. And the same matter is this body. So what is inside is there outside. It doesn't belong to anyone. And that meditation is Buddha meditation. And that's Vipassana. To know things as they are. Yatha Bhuta Jnana. How the thing have come to be. So now by our own assessment, we came to see that Akasa has Vayu, Vayu has Tejo, Tejo has Apo, Apo has Patavi. So if somebody says, I can sit for 8 hours, that fellow has gone mad because it's a property of matter, not the property of the chitta. If that person is able to sit, means he or she has have kambanyata and lahuta, and the last portion is mudita. Muduta, not mudita, muduta. Mudu means mrudu, soft. It makes things softer. So what does that mean? It means I make this arm stand like this for some time, and I keep on practicing like this. After a while, it sticks like this. For hours together, I can hold it like this. Became mudu. That means the body itself knows the atomic structure changes, so it keeps moving away, leading into more space and hence more air, less heat, and there's no water rushing in, rushing out. So the pressure reduces. So when the pressure reduces, it doesn't hit like this on the patvi. So the basic pain, which is the nerve centers, which has receptor, doesn't get a receptor. That means there's no conscious experience of receptor firing. So the brain doesn't go into the sympathetic nervous system to change the configuration and say that here is the pain, do something about it. So it doesn't. So what happens? It turns into parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest. So the person feels very happy. Now question is, who feels happy? It's the chitta. It's not the body. If somebody believes the body has unique ability of sensation, that guy has gone nuts, because it's a consciousness which is feeding into it, not the matter. So in Vipassana, Goenka technique, and I see I see the sensations, which means itching sensation, throbbing sensation, that sensation, this sensation, all sensation together. If I see it, who is seeing it? It's not the matter which is seeing it, it's the consciousness which is seeing it. So it's only the body consciousness which is seeing it. Now what I do is, if I keep on working out on the consciousness of it, through conscious experience, I can see the change from the space to air, from the air to fire, from fire to water, from water to Patvi, earth element. What happens? The matter keeps on moving. As it moves, it rubs. When it rubs, you feel itchy or throbbing or something. And that's happening instantaneously there. So if I become a witness to that, if I become means the chitta becomes a witness to this, it can see this matter has arose, stayed, and it has perished. So upada, starting, titi, staying, bhanga, dissolution. I have seen the starting, middle, and the end, just like the binomial theorem, +6 and -6, and median. So the top one is the median, when it stays for some time. So the itchy feeling stays for some time. It's going to be really itchy or throbbing or pain. So you require a source, and that source Buddha explains by akara, size, shape, structure. That's a Pali word for that. So that akara, the size, the shape of it. So we can say, oh, you know what, my knee is paining, my knee is hurting. And that's the expression. Now we'll step back further and see what's happening. Knee is held tight like this. So what happens? Supposing this is how I'm sat on meditation, what happens? The blood flow is reduced. Simple. Now the blood flow reduces means, what does that mean? It means it takes more effort for the blood to move from one section to another section because of the blockage. Now there is holding or like this. So there is pressure which is generated. Once Vayu enters into that space, it starts to expand. So when it expands, there is no space for it to expand. What happens? It gets heated up. And in English, it's called as inflammation. It's inflamed. No, I have done aditthana. I will not shift. Idiot. That is not an aditthana. That is stupidity. You are heating things up. When you heat things up, what happens? It becomes liquid. What did you do? You turned all the water to flow inside that damn place, flooding it and removing the patavi from there. So obviously, the nerve now says ting, 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 that when you remove the belt and you get that sound in the car. Ting, 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 ting. That sound keeps on hitting on the sympathetic nervous system and says that change the posture, change the posture, change the posture, change the posture, and you get irritated. Who? The chitta. And then what do? There's no you to do. It's just a reflex and response. So the reflex action is to deflect whatever is happening. So you deflect the pain. So what does it do? The leg is stretched or whatever is stretched. When it is stretched, what happens? The liquid flows out. And the liquid flows out. Along with that, the inflammation, which has become like this, reduces. So what happens next? The Vayu is out. Because it goes into circulation. The Vayu is out. So the space is reclaimed. And that's all what is happening. And this way of seeing is what is Kalapa. What comes what? What comes after what? What comes after what? So if you keep on watching it, you'll see a fun ride. This comes, that goes. That comes, that goes. That comes, that. So there's no way you can say at any point in time, anything is held for a long time. So now you are on samatha and vipassana together. Samatha requires breath, vipassana requires investigation or insight. Yes, Bobby, you had raised your hand.
That's it. Like there are two ways this all the teachers says. One is have the determination that you don't move your this when you get a pain or something. Just bear with it for some time, and then if it is really unbearable, do it. But then there are these things like sometimes you move it because. So, but Buddha, when he was meditating, he said this famous thing, right? Even if my sinus or all these things tries up, I will not move. So, is it like what you are saying? Is it a bit contradictory to that, or
Contradictory? Okay. For those people who want to check up, they can check up Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta. That gives clarity on what is aditthana. There are 4 aditthana. Panyaditthana, Chagaditthana.
No, Vidasi, that aditthana.
I got it. Now come to Buddha's determination.
Yeah.
Buddha's determination. So there are 2 kinds of people, or rather 4 kinds of people we need to understand when it comes to Puggala and Arya Puggala. One is a person who doesn't know anything. Okay? So we'll keep him aside for time being. The second kind of individual is Neya. If you've heard this word, Neya, means who requires more effort. Okay. Today, we have almost all of them, whether they are in recluse or they are lay people, come under Neya. And some people are Padaparma, meaning they even if they try in this life, nothing is going to happen. They keep on trying. That's good for them. So we are not touching on the Padaparma, we are touching on Neya. Okay. But what Buddha says is on Ugatitanyu and Vipachitanyu, which we don't even have a single one. Now, let's take this Samma Sambuddha kind of scenarios versus Arhats versus Anagami versus Sakadagami versus Sotapanna and then the Putujana. The person with whom we are competing in this and saying that I will let my sinews happen, my bone break and all that, we are considering ourselves to be Samma Sambuddha at that point in time. Because we think, meaning that person thinks that he is on the verge of liberation. At that point in time, he can make that mental statement because of 4 factors. Number 1, his body has become more or less like a candle. Okay, because he has looked into the Kamanyata aspect of it, the Muduta aspect of it, and the Lahuta aspect of it of matter. He's understood the entire matter, how it can be made up. Okay. Now, if you say dry up my blood, okay, he's talking to Mara, not to us. Okay, so we are literally taking this to the extreme, saying that when Buddha can do it, I should be able to do it. In that real case, then we should work out to become Samma Sambuddha, not Arhats. That means I need to make a determination like what Sumedha did when Dipankara told him that you can, if you, right now, if you do, you can become an Arhat. And then he said, sir, can you just tell me when I can be a Samma Sambuddha? And then he said, look, you have to take a long lives and then you will be born in this place and so and so. And that person knows in every level that he's been reborn as this, next he's been reborn as this, next been reborn as this. And at this point in time, Bobby, none of us have the ability to go back to one life. Forget 40 eons or even 100 eons than what we are talking. So I don't think so we should be talking anything on Ugati Tanyu state because it will be too insulting. I mean, we will be insulting Ugati Tanyus.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Rashi. Sorry that actually it was, I didn't think that way because only even if somebody makes determination that he's going to become a Samma Sambuddha, he can't do it now anyway, right? He has to take so many years.
No, not only that, we are Neya. Yeah. We are Neya. Sumedha as such was a Ugati Tanyu. Even if being in Ugati Tanyu, he couldn't do it. He could have been an Arhat and ended his journey. But he said, no, I want to be a Samma Sambuddha. So first and foremost, Bobby, I need to know, am I a Padaparma? Am I a Neya? Am I a Vipachitanyu? Am I a Ugatitanyu? There's one sutta which explains all of these 4. It's not that I'm talking something out of my head.
No, I think you told that before. I just
yes, I've told before. I'm just trying to clarify. Somebody in the group might think of this. He never spoke about.
Yeah,
it's there. Now, when I take about myself, let's say, okay, there are 4 kinds of Neya. Even in that Neya. So first Neya is he takes lot of time. Meaning, you give him Dhiganikaya exposition and sit on top of him and then you give him each word by word meaning, he will still have doubt. Nothing anybody can do. So he is called a Dandha Bhinya. That means one who takes long time. And for a teacher, like Buddha says, these people are irritating me. Out of compassion, I do it. Ananda, they just
I
take
think I
my.
think I think many of your students are irritating you a lot. I think.
That's okay. Okay. Now that is one kind. Then the second kind, Kippa Bhinya, meaning they're pretty fast, but they end up wherever they started. They're pretty fast. They get it. Ah, got it, got it. What next? What do you mean, what next? Start. What start? Boss, you understood, right? Yes. Start now. I thought that you were going to start. What do you mean? I'm going to start. You understood, right? How to drive the car? Yes. Drive. Wait a second. So, what should I do next? Put the D thing. Yeah, I put. Drive. Ah, that one thing I don't know. But I understood it. And that is Kippa Binya of this kind. And the third one, he puts so much effort that he surpasses the effort. That means virya, bringing in restlessness, tons of it, no samadhi. But he's good guy, meaning if he relaxes, he'll get samadhi, he'll get panya. But that guy feels he should be the first person. Let me go, and crash lands and waits for his teacher to come slowly, saying that what happened? I crashed. Excellent. Start the game again. Like what Goenka says, start again, like that. So you go back again. The third kind. And the fourth kind, who is intelligent but requires guidance. They can't do it on their own. That means even with me or with maybe Shaniel or you or Ariu or Chirag or whatever it is, we require guidance, and the guidance can be a physical teacher or a sutta or some literature without which they can't travel. So today, if I see my own achievement, I am of the fourth kind. Maybe not 1 and 2 and 3, but still I am near. If I was a Vipachitanyu, Yam Kinchi Samudaya Dhammam Sabbam Tam Nirodha Dhammam, done. Sotapanna, blink of the eye Sakadagami, another 2 blinks Anagami, another 4 blinks Arhat. That's
So
it.
will I see this all Anathapindika and all these people who understood instantly, they are all Vipachichanya or?
Can be near 4th or the first level of Vipachitanyu. In that also there are 3 layers in Vipachitanyu also. So we'll not go in, then it becomes a total different topic. So we need to understand that somebody, like in the case of Upatissa, who became Sariputta. So he started thinking, yes, so whatever arises will depart. It is a very simple thing, but profound. That means if I talk Vilas, Vilas will be a child and a small, like an infant and a child and a teenager and a old age and middle age, old age and death. All. So what starts and it ends? Got it, sir. Thank you. So then he sees the Rupa, he sees the Vedana, he sees Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, all 5 appearing and diminishing. So Sotapanna. Then he lets go of the possessive ideas which he has. So that lets him go of the 8 worldly possessions. I could say, like in the case of profit and loss and all of that, and then Sakadagami. Then there's no Kamachanda and Vyapada, because now he sees that whatever arises ceases away. What's the point? So Anagami and no Avidya, Arhat. Only with this. Now comes the master blaster, Ugatitanyu. He doesn't require anything, just show like this, and he's done. What does that mean? Even Yam Kinchi Samudaya Dhammam Sabbam Tam Nirodha Dhammam is too big. So what does he get? He gets Iti imasmim sati idam hoti imassa uppada idam uppajjati. Iti imasmim asati idam na hoti imassa nirodha idam niruchyati. That means this being, this comes to be, this this comes to be, the arising of this arises. This not being, this does not come to be. With the cessation of this ceases. As in, with the jati being there, the birth being the dependency, death comes to be. With the arising of life, so the death. And same thing there. With no birth being there, death does not come to be. With the cessation of birth, death ceases. And he sees all the dwellings, one after the other, and done. There is no thing for him called Sotapanna, no thing called as Sakadagami, no thing called as Anagami. Straight. Just like Shaniel having that billiard table at his home, and the guy pinpoints and done. So each ball will hit each other, and then he just goes away. Whereas the Naya coming there, and he said, Vilasji, this is not the way to hold it. I'll just show you how to hold this. I'll say, look, I don't know how to punch this. Wait, I'll show you. Then he shows me 4 times. Then I try 8 times, and I break his stick, and then I'm his supposedly teacher. He can't even tell me anything. So he takes another stick and gives it to me. This time, don't break it. Okay, I'll show you how to hit it. And I hit it like this, and the ball goes and hits the glass, and the glass breaks. And then he says, my goodness, what a person he is. Now, after some time, I learn how to play around with that thing, which is Neya. So you tell me, Bobby, if I make that statement, that let my sinews burn, let my blood burn, let my bones break, maybe it will break and everything is going to happen.
No. Sorry, Vijashi. And I asked that question, but I didn't connect with this levels of, because sometimes in Goenkaji's this discourse also, he gives this example when he
I know that.
takes about Aditya.
I'm not offended. I'm not feeling anything. I'm just trying to say how this works so that we have clarity.
And also, Vilashi, according to as per the suttas, like people like Bahia, and or are they Ukachita, or they are like
they are Vipachitanya. They are not Neya. That's the reason when Bahia asks him thrice, Buddha looks at him and feels, yes, he's ready for the training. And what a classic training that is. That is a topic which I wanted to take today on the Phassa anyway. So that's all about Phassa. If you have really observed it keenly, you will appreciate Buddha and Bahia. Bahia is no Buddhist for that matter. Okay, and he had a misunderstanding that he's already released. And one person told him that the only person who can tell you whether you're released or not is Buddha. So why don't you go and meet him? And then Bahia comes there. And what an exposition. See, the first thing, and even there's another sutta where Buddha says, if you want to say you're an arhat, you can just tell by one. And he asks, what one? Dhite dhite mattam, sute sute mattam, mute mute mattam, vinyate vinyate mattam. That's it. Done. What you are following, whether you're following this tradition, that other tradition, Hindu tradition, Christian, Muslim, it doesn't matter. Can you be like this? What it means? Dhite dhite mattam. In seeing, just the seeing, no seer or the seen. What does that mean? I'll give you a very nice analogy which I gave to these people who have come the other day. It's like a mirror, polished mirror. The mirror is not worried or attached or whatever it is to the objects. The object appear in front of the mirror and they disappear, and the mirror is not interested in holding on to any impressions there or getting worked up when they disappear. Okay, that is dhite dhite mattam, just like the mirror. Anybody can stand in front of the mirror, it doesn't matter. So if I put on to myself, if I'm an arhat or going to be an arhat, it's like this. My experience should go like this. Like what? You're sitting on a bank of a river or sitting at office or wherever you're sitting, and your eye shouldn't go this way or that way. You're just sitting like this. Object comes, goes, comes, goes, comes, goes. Nothing is happening at all. This happened, which I've already shared, but not been consistent. So not at all. Not yet there. But if it happens, yes, you can proudly say that, yes, I'm done it. Dhite dhite mattam. What about sute sute mattam? If dhite happens, the hearing also is the same thing. You hear, but there is no person to be heard, and there is nothing to be experienced out of that hearing. Excellent. What a third one? Mute mute mattam. Nose, tongue, touch are all mutta. So you are having the senses of smell, but no particular smell carries. There is tongue, the taste, everything is coming, but no particular taste carries because there's no I am experiencing this. So the experiencer and the experienced, if they both are removed from the equation, then mutta happens. Vinyate vinyate mattam. So I will have a cognition that is ariyu, but not beyond that. I will have a cognition of Bobby. I'll have a cognition of Shenial and Chirag and Veena and Meenakshi who are on video, but that's it. So once the object disappears, the cognition also disappears. And when they arrive, the cognition arrives. Meaning, I am not recognizing the event to experience like the cow. So let's understand what the cow is doing. The cow is the consciousness. It doesn't go and graze the field again and again and again. It just stays without grazing. So there's no grazing field. So the ayatana is not really overused. It's just there. So vinyate vinyate mattam. And then he says, neva idha na hura na udya ubhayamantare. Na idha, not thisness. Not hura, not thatness. Na ubhayamantare, not anywhere in between. That means this, me, that, ariyu, neither anything in between. And that's the end of suffering. If I stay, ariyu is there. If I don't stay, Ariu is there. What do you think, Bobby? Are they all frozen? No.
I think they with absorbed with this particular sutta,
Yes.
so they become still.
So I just wanted to ask that question because they're frozen, and frozen in time means dead. If you're completely frozen in time, you're completely dead, which means no time and space dimension. So then you're done. So no dukkha. So illusion of time is gone. The time goes away, the space goes away. Like Sheniel can think I went to Fiji, and from Fiji I took a flight to San Francisco, and from there I went to Ariu's home and met Chirag and all that, lunch and photos and whatever they had put, and then today morning onwards they're having a fun ride, and then evening ride now, and then like that. And tomorrow he's going to meet someone. So there's a time and space and time and space and time and space and time and space going on. What he never left Brisbane at all. To be back in Brisbane. Then the dukkha ends. Okay, so that's what we are trying to accomplish by removing the phassa from the six senses. The plug is removed. So salayatana is removed. So his question is, what's the cause? What's the condition? Or rather, what is the origin, nidana? What is the samudaya arising? What is the jatika, birth? And what is the pabhava, the way of working of that very thing which is arisen? So what brings this salayatana? And the answer is nama rupa. Unfortunately, I don't think so I'll be able to start with that nama rupa. But let me see if I can do a little bit, and then we can end for today. And when we meet tomorrow, and we can go over the important subject of nama rupa. It's a very difficult topic. Okay, and I don't know, you should be a minimum, bare minimum sotapanna to really experience this nama rupa. Otherwise, it becomes a theoretical exercise, but it's fine, still fine to at least know what that nama rupa is. So let's begin with some examples with the vipassana retreats, because everyone has done vipassana. So now that is Goenka technique I'm talking about. So now you're asked to sit for 1 hour. Okay, great. And you're finding a throbbing sensation, itchy sensation. What is itchy and what is a sensation? Can anybody answer? There's two different things. Itchy is not a sensation, and sensation is not itchy. Yes, Chirag. No, you are in New York while being in San Francisco. It's fine, but it is good one. I'm not saying it was not a nice try. Yes, Bobby.
I think just what I understand, ichi is that thing is a perception, that is sanya, and that sensation, what you're saying, is Vedana. That's what I understand. It's the two things, it is
That's
one
fine.
is part of Sanya, and the other one is part of Vedana.
No. So let's say calling an itch is a concept, and that is a conventional reality. Just like calling somebody Aryusha, and there can be 100 Aryushias, and then we know that he's Aryusha because of whatever physical attributes I can see out of this person, and I can say he is Aryu. Okay, so that means the qualifier, what qualifies for being Bobby Thomas, whatever that qualifier is, the first part of it. Okay, that's the first part. Like Ichi, that's the first part. What's the second part? Is based upon this concept, what did you feel about it? That's the second part of it. You're going to feel something about it. You're going to perceive something about it, of the same thing. You're going to perceive that. That very thing, what you feel, you're going to perceive that. And then you're going to have a volition, or you're going to have some intention to do something about it, either to keep it or throw it. Okay. So this is what it is. When we say how this comes into the Salayatana, how it flows into the six senses, six sense bases or spheres or whatever it is called as, six sense fields, is how the water is flowing into the six sense fields and the watering up is through this, where whatever we conceptualize. So before conceptualization, there is an idea, and that idea is coming from the chitta, which is in basically manasam, in a very particular sense, before it turns hadayam. That's a place where this idea comes into existence. What's the basic idea? And everybody knows what's an idea. How does it know? Because it's there in mano. I think I'd covered this, so I don't want to cover back again the same thing. So it starts with mano. That's the reason Buddha says mano pubbangama dhamma mano setta manomaya. So then the mano is the starting point of recognition. You just cognize there. Okay, so that's an idea. So when we say I have an idea of something, I have cognized something, it's starting to cook up. I'm trying to cook something. And if I want to say what it is, I have to conceptualize it. So how do you conceptualize? You basically brand it. You bring it to life by saying something about it. Like what our friend Shaniel has created a game called as Fruit Ninja. Why ninja? It's a Japanese term. If you go asking what is fruit I got to do with ninja, then the concept itself is lost. Now it goes back to idea. Then I say, what a stupid idea of what is fruit got to do with ninja? Okay, this guy is an idiot, he doesn't understand. Then it goes back to chitta, where it just lights up. There's nothing else there. No idea has got formed. So the nibbana is that state where you don't have fruit ninja to play with. But the vijnana is everybody is hooked on to fruit ninja. And then Shaniel feels very happy. Wow, so many million subscribers. Oh, wow, so many downloads. It's great. Where that is happening in the vijnana. But where it started, what's the origin? It's chitta. It lighted up, brought an idea, and created a concept. So manasam is where it created a concept. It's my idea. It's my concept. It's hadayam. Then the decision maker, which is Pandara, it says, yeah, you should patent it, otherwise somebody will take it. It's a beautiful idea. So I have a POC, proof of concept, I've proved it, patenting it comes in my name. Excellent. Somebody asks, Vilas, how many patents do you have in your name? Say 20. Wow. Of what kind? Don't ask me all about that, but I have patents. It's great. I didn't know you have patents. And you don't, after this call me and ask, Vilas, I didn't know about patent. I don't even have one patent. So don't ask me separately. Vilas, all these years I never knew you had patents. So what is patenting? Patenting means officiating the concept so that nobody takes it from you, but it can be productized. Right? So this is a basic aim. That means you are conceptualizing. That conceptualization is what is the nama part of it. And when you do a POC of it, proof of concept of it, is when the Rupa comes into existence. You have made something tangible from something which never existed in the first place. So, how these six senses get to know something is the question. How does it get to know that this is the cow is going and eating? How does it know? And that is through Nama Rupa. This is what we are trying to do. So we are coming up with an idea which is nobody has. What do you mean nobody has? It's consciousness only which has. What do you mean nobody has? Yeah, in some other person's consciousness, that's never there. Right? So if I say something to Shaniel and then he says, Vilasji, I never knew this. Does that mean he really did not know it? Or he was not conscious of it? Actually, he was not conscious of it. I just prompted it and he took it, he got it. In the same way, if we both were to work out on the Nirodha Samapatti, all that we need to do is to remove the concept. Then what happens? It just flows back to Chitta. And that's it. End of suffering. Oh man, how do you come back? I don't know. So I can bring in permanent sleep to Shaniel and say that, I don't know, I'm done, gone. After that, Shaniel is sitting on the sofa or wherever he's sitting, and then he'll be sitting forever. Because unless there's a perception, he can't come back. And where does the perception comes? It comes in Manasam. Obviously, where else will it come? So the conceptualization is the perception. And what you conceptualized about it comes in the feeling, which is part of Hadayam. So you feel, it's mine. This is what we're going to do, is the Hadayam. And the decision maker, the intellect, is Pandara, who will decide, if you do this, this is what you're going to get. If you don't do this, this is where you're not going to get. That is what the Manasikara all about. That's the exact place where you attend to something. So when we say Nama portion of it, Sariputta or Buddha explains it as Phassa, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Manasikara. These are the 5 things called as Nama, and the other is the Rupa. That means conceptualization is Nama, bringing it into some material form is Rupa. Okay, so I guess you had some clarity on this. So Australia is Nama, as in the name, with concept, not just naming as naming, with some concept. What is Australia? So you might say down under. And then in one of the interview Shane is saying underdog. Oh, who is under the dog? Right, and then many of the cricketers use that underdog. So, what's the dog good to do with under? And that's a concept. But if you understand the concept, you've understood the nama. Now you can create the rupa. Right? So what do? You take a you take a whiteboard like this. Oh, sorry. It's like this. And then you write. So what are you writing? I'll say I'm writing a design. Excellent. Now, from an idea comes a concept. From a concept comes a design. From the design, a proof of concept. From the proof of concept, productization. From the productization into manufacturing. From manufacturing to packaging. From the packaging to the delivery. From the delivery to marketing. From marketing to sales. So from idea to cash. And this exact format is for everything. So this is where it starts. So when you materialize, when I say it is materialized, it means you're able to count the cash. And that conceptualized thing is referred as revenue. So if somebody were to be asked, what is your EBITDA score? What is EBITDA? Have you heard about this term, EBITDA? Okay, earnings before interest, taxes, and amortization. Okay, so or CAGR. Have you heard about CAGR? Yeah. So these are concepts. They are not real. But when I say, have you heard CAGR from Vijnana, it's going into the previous one, which is Mana Ayatana. No, Mana Indriya. Then the behind is Mana Ayatana. Then the behind one is the Pandara. Then the behind one is Hadaya. Then the behind one is the Manasam. So when I say, did you hear? It goes into Hadaya. Vilas, did you hear this? CAGR. CAGR. Now it requires Chitta to search it. So what the Chitta does, it goes into the database, just like ChatGPT. It'll give, what is CAGR? Come on, quick. Comes to Mano. It takes it and it reproduces it and then comes to Manasam. Here is CAGR for you. And when I immediately say the answer, CAGR means this. So maybe somebody interviewing me would say, that, yeah, good, Vilas, I think you know about all of this. Relief. Why? Because Hadayam is really emotional place where things happen. You feel happy, unhappy, neutral in this place, in Hadayam. And that's the reason we lose our way of really seeing things they are, because it doesn't come to Pandara. It always keeps on rotating in the Hadaya itself. Now you keep on becoming emotional about everything. I am in Queensland. When did the Queen land in this? I don't know. Which Queen? And they put the thing, state of Queensland. So when you land, you're going to land in Queensland. So search for the Queen. And if you can find, you can inform Shaniel and Bobby. We found your Queen. Okay, that's a concept. It's basic concept. Has no thing in that. It is empty to the core. If you search for Queen in Queensland, it's like searching Ariu all throughout the body. They both are concepts. So in the Rupa, you wouldn't get Aryu. It's a futile attempt to search in the Rupa because just a concept. It's a naming concept. It's just like let x equals so, and then I believe x always holds that value. Okay, that's stupidity. But that's how it is. Let this body be called Aryu. So the parents took its hand and said, Ha, Aryusha. And then Bobby's parent took it and say, Bobby Thomas, Bobby Joseph Thomas, basically. And then Bobby felt very happy as a child. Mama, Dad, you call me Bobby, excellent. Thank you so much. I was in anxiety. What are you going to call me? In fact, that baby never knew it is Bobby. You could have called it Bobby, Gobby, Kobe, whatever you could have called it, would have said the same name. It wouldn't have mattered to the consciousness, but then it is Bobby. Now, after some time, the parent starts to call it, hey, Bobby, Bobby, come here, Bobby, Bobby, see here, Bobby. So that sound is Bobby, see, Bobby, see, Bobby, see, Bobby, see. So it keeps on reciting in its mind, and then the baby starts to answer back. Just like the dog, you name it as some Susan, and it just thinks, it makes act like Susan, like what Bobby talks to his dog called Maya, which is Maya by the original people. And he first told me, Vilasji, it can recognize as Maya. And whenever he calls Maya, Maya, it comes actually. And Ashley and Annabelle and Marin, they hate to call it as Maya. They say, Maya, come here. And it comes. How is it possible? The same consciousness called by Bobby says, I am Maya. And the same consciousness, when somebody else calls, is Maya. It's amazing how consciousness can play dual role. For one person, act like Maya because he feels happy as Maya. And the earlier owners of that dog named it Maya. I was wondering, how can Australians keep Maya from where? I mean, and then I understood it's Maya, it's not Maya. Anyway, it's fine. So it responds to Bobby as Maya, or Maya, and for Annabelle and Ashley and Marin as Maya. It does. So where it is exactly doing? Where's the origin of that? The origin of that is consciousness, which is the next one, Vijnana, is when the Nama Rupa happens. So what does that do? It will reserve a placeholder in Manasam. And if it is meeting the requirement, it will just move that placeholder from the Manasam into Hadayam. And once it's installed in the Hadaya, it becomes real. So Bobby is real. If you ask Bobby, aren't you real? He will say, I am. And now how do you help him to say that, Bobby, you're unreal? Vilasji, I think you require some medication. Last time you had idli at our house, I think something happened with that idli. Maybe this time in Shaniel's place, you'll never have idli. I think you'll become all right. But then at our house, maybe because of love and affection we gave you, you had too much of idli, and that is a cause and a condition for your madness to appear that I'm not Bobby. So how do you recognize every time this figure comes in as Bobby? Is by Hadayam. The heart. So, don't you get hurt? And I said, yes. How do you get hurt? And you'll hold here because it got hurt. The feelings are here, centered in the heart. And for everyone is the same. You broke my heart. And that's the reason the songs and songs on heart in whichever language. Either you give heart or you take heart. Okay. And when number of people drop, my heart is broken. Right? Or when I lose job, my heart is broken. Why? The concept, and nobody likes to break the concept. It's horrible feeling that the concept has not been accepted. Idea is no problem, but the concept broken means you have to reinvest time in getting to where it is lost. Let's say they fire me tomorrow instead of last day of October 31st. Then they say that, Vilas, anyway, you're going, and now tomorrow onwards, you don't have to be there. What a pain. Money itself is a concept. I start losing my salary next month. Okay? Now, house is a concept. Grocery is a concept. Furniture is a concept. Son is a concept. Daughter is a concept. Every damn thing, every relationship is a concept on which the world is standing. So I just now lost the world. Just in a, like this. Wife is a concept. 100% is a concept. Husband is a concept. You can change. That's the reason you can make another concept, ex-wife, ex-husband, stepson, stepdaughter, something like that. So you can keep on changing, playing around with it, because it's just a concept. You can do anything with the concept. You can be divorced, you can be remarried, you can be living together, you can be separated out, you can be having live-in relationship, you don't have to have any relationship. You can be a friend, you can be a foe, you can be anything, because it's just a concept. And that is the problem. Because now you have to recreate the concept. It's not going to be an easy exercise. So you struggle. Now what has to happen? It has to go back to the drawing board, which is mano, and then the chitta. It's a pain. So we would like to have manasam intact. That's when it gets into hadayam. So the placeholder is moved into the heart. So I feel, I'm back. So when I am divorcing whatever, either the job or the product or the wife or the son or the house or the money or whatever, I'm supposed to let go of it. It hurts in the heart. It's not easy. So you feel broken. Why? Because the concept is gone. On which I was standing, earth has suddenly opened up. So there's one sutta where Buddha says, reflect upon, I am liable to be aging, I am liable to be deceased, I am liable to be dead, I am liable to lose all those things which I liked, and I am the owner of my own karma, like that. Why? Because you're cutting off the concept. Without concept, the world comes to an end. That's the end of suffering. That's what Bahya did. He cut off the Namarupa with Vijnana, which we are going to next tomorrow. But this is how it enters into Salayatana, and then the Phassa, then the Vedana, then the tanha, then the upadana, then the bhava, jati, jara, maran, like that. It's going now in circle. So by non-conceptualization, you're out of it. So what is nirodha then? Cessation, conceptual ending. So should you work or shouldn't you work? If that question is asked. It's asked in Vijnana. What does the Chitta say? There's nothing called working, there's nothing called non-working. That's a perfect answer, like a sage. As a Vijnana, I will say, I have quit working. Then what should I do? Aryu, do you have a job? And Aryu will say, I don't have. Now I ask the center person, Shaniel, do you have some job for me? He says, Vilasji, don't tell me you're coming to Australia to seek job. No, not at all, not at all. And then I ask Chirag, any job? Why? I can't stand without concept. It's broken. Exactly, it's broken. So I need to fix it. Where do I fix it? In Manasam. Once I get the job back, all my sermons are very good. Now I can say, money doesn't make anything, no sense in having money. It's all some blunder thing, just a concept. You shouldn't be focused on money and all that. But actually speaking, you've really cut off the concept. You're in Nibbana. Just like Aryu, you, me, and Bobby, we took a decision to buy the land in Bangalore. Okay, we didn't think twice, thrice, 4 times, whatever it is, and we bought. And Chirag also, I think Chirag mother or Chirag both added together, they donated, right? So my donation, your donations, Bobby's donation are stuck in a place in Bangalore. Now, am I going to construct it? It's going to take another good amount of money to construct it, because you have to come up with a concept. So basically the land is there. It's fine. You can sell it off and then we can see what to do with it. If you want to construct it, you have to come up with an idea. And idea has to get into concept. And concept has to come into design. And from design, it has to come into the proof of concept, which we'll do it on paper. This is the room, this is the meditation hall, this is all that. And then we take the material, and we construct it. And we call that as a meditation hall, which is a concept. Now, if you were to ask this question, should we sell that land if we are not constructing anything? Yeah, you could. If you don't have attachment towards it, you could. And where does attachment gets formed? In the Hadayam. If you go one step back into Manasam, it's just a concept. You go one stop back, Mano, it's just an idea. Just go back to Chitta. No land exists. That's the end of suffering. So now the question comes to me and Bobby and Aryu and Chirag or his mother, what we should do with that property. In fact, we don't have a property, we just have a land. Property means what is constructed. Did you construct? No. Can you hold on to the property? Yes. To the land? Yes. When the right amount comes, you can put it back to the trust account. And you can use it for whatever charity purposes you would like to have, which makes more sense. Now the question comes, why did we buy it in the first place? It's because of Hadayam. Simple. Bobby got emotional saying that Vilasji, you should have one meditation place when we come. So I was asking Bobby, will you come in next 5 years? He said, not in next 10 years at least. Ow, wrong number. Then I asked Ari when I was there in Mountain View, what do you want to do? He said, I'm going to settle down in China, but I'll be coming here and there to India. Gone. And then here is the fun part. I have donated money, and my wife also wants to donate money. So, all together, we are donating 60 lakhs of Indian rupees, where we have paid 30 lakhs in that land. What's going to happen? Nothing. If I keep that, I paid 30 lakhs, it's huge from an Indian perspective, at least from a middle class family like mine. And if I say I have son and he's studying and blah blah in a normal way, if I think yes, it's good amount of money. And hers 30 lakhs, meaning as much as I'm going to put, she's going to put the same amount of money. So we together have pooled up 60 lakhs. Okay. Now, what should we do? We still honor the commitment. That's still honored. Now, what do you want to do with that? Yes, donate it. Once donated is donated. No taking back. Done with it. So, can I get it back? No. Can anybody get their money back? No. Whether we construct or we don't construct, that's. So, what do we do with that? Take back that money into the trust. Don't consider it as yours. That is Hadayam. So, go one step back. It's just a concept. Go one step back, it's an idea. Go one step back, nothing. Should you go to Vijnana on the entire end of the spectrum? If you do, if I do, it's the most painful experience I can ever have, because the money is sunk. And not only my money, Aryu's money is sunk. Bobby's money is sunk. Chirag's money is sunk. Or if Chirag's mother has given it, her money is sunk. Whether she gave this many lakhs or that many lakhs, it doesn't matter. It's sunk. It's gone. It's completely gone. It depends on where I'm putting that flag. If I'm putting the flag here, there's no problem. But if I put the flag there, it's all the problem. Now it's unbearable pain. Because then I'm going to ask, what was the need? Why were you so urgent? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? And why did you create a trust? And what are you going to do? All that will come. How are you going to keep track of the amount spent, and who is going to keep track? Who will be the accountant? Who is going to manage it? Who is the secretary for that? Trustee, this, that. Oh my God, why did I ever do it? Because that is part of where? That's just the concept. Come on, it's just a concept. That's the Nama. And the money is Rupa, tangibility. But have you seen that 30 lakhs money? No, it's in the bank. Bank as what? Number. But do you really see 30 lakhs? Yes. If you withdraw, you get cash. But that's still a concept. It's a paper. I don't believe it. Okay, let me tell you this. On November 8, 2016, Indian government demonetized 1,000 rupees notes, 500 rupees notes. That means from that day, that is as good as paper. So what did people do? They literally burnt up that paper. As far as 7th November 2016 goes, it was valid currency. But on 8th morning, 7:30 a.m. onwards, it became useless paper. So they burnt it, burnt millions of it, so that they don't get raided of holding so many cash. And they burned. And some people did another stupid or intelligent thing. They flushed it in the toilet, and it came out in in open in open drain, and nobody took it. You see this fun? Not even a thief could take it. Otherwise, they could have cleaned it and they could have used it, at least as a tissue paper. That also they did not do it. Or a toilet paper. No. No thief did not take even a one single 500 rupee note, even though it was going around everywhere. Why? It has no value. You can't do something if it by intrinsic nature has no value. It's gone. So the 500 rupee note and the 1000 rupee note went out of circulation. And recently, government removed 2000 rupee note out of circulation. So what people did? It's the same thing. So that's all what it is. So if you have a concept live, it has life. Live, live, then it has life. If it is not live, it is not alive. It's, and that's the end of suffering. Because you cut off the nama, the rupa cannot stay. So the salayatana doesn't have anything. So you can't see 500 rupee note, you can't hear 500 rupee note, you can't touch 500 rupee note, you can't taste 500 rupee note, you can't smell 500 rupee note, so you can't think 500 rupee notes any longer. Because it got demonetized. Now, can you demonetize your wife? Yes, absolutely. By how? Divorcing. How else? And the wife and husband sits and they agree on that, okay, this is much amount I can give you, this is what it is, I'm going to share the property and share this. Okay, all done, get out. Done. So from today, your ex-wife and ex-husband. Just like ex-employee. I was ex-employee in that company. Why? What do you mean ex-employee? Because employee itself is a concept. So ex has to be added. So that's all what it is. So when I quit ABB, I can no longer put Agile Consultant ABB. I have to put ex ABB. If I still want to hold on to that hadayam feeling, that love I have here, right? So that if I want to hold it, otherwise nothing. It's just a concept, and concept can be made and broken. So if I let go of it, the salayatana doesn't have anything. So then you're done. So tomorrow we'll go into the vinyana. I'm sorry to hold you on long, so I just wanted to finish it off so that it doesn't spread on to tomorrow. Yes, Arif, want to say something? Or any one of you want to say something? Otherwise you can close. Yes. He's coming totally down into the feeling portion of it. Meaning we are talking only with relation to the nama rupa and salayatana. We are not going below there. What he gave an answer is correct. Ichi is a feeling, and that feeling is all that is correct. But if I didn't take out that ichi thing, because tomorrow when we speak, how the ichi comes, okay, and how do you name it? How do you make that area, that we are going to cover, and that might give him clarity. But what he said, I'm not 100% disputing it, but that's not how it is. Meaning we have to go detailed like what I was talking, right? So we have to cut it off everything and then we can see it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not agreeing to what Chirag is saying. I mean, overall, that's correct. Yeah. At least did you understand what I was talking about, all of this?
And
Yes.
using that nama, you can materialize it in some way in your physical
Yes,
existence.
exactly right. So the land which came to us, the land which we bought, is in paper. Actually, it's on paper. It's not really a land out there. It's on paper. We have become owners on the paper. But if you go to the land and ask, am I the owner of this land? And the land will slap at me. What? What are you talking? But on paper, I am the owner of the land, right? So, because it is registered where? On the paper again. So, it's everything is conceptual. Every damn thing we do is conceptual. The employment letter, or the terms and conditions, to the office, to the this, to that, to whatever we're developing, whatever you're testing, whatever we're doing, is conceptual. It's just a conceptual reality. There's no thing as reality in that. Not an ounce of reality. Yes, Harry.
One question. I'm wondering, Sakdagami, does it know they don't take anything to Harayam, or they still do?
They do.
They do.
They do, but less.
Less. Okay.
It's just like somebody drinking a 30 ml of wine instead of 90 ml of wine.
Okay. Yeah, because that happiness has to be there only
Yeah,
from Harayam.
only from Anagami to Arhat, Nirodha Samapatti happens. Nobody else can do it. It's completely fake. If somebody says that, look, I'm able to get into Nirodha Samapatti without he himself or herself knowing they are Anagami, it's just not possible. He can't cut off the perception. It's not possible. All good? Okay.
Yeah.
And Shaniel, thanks for spending time with our friends. And then maybe you should continue staying with Ariu till you go back to Australia. I think he would be the most happiest person. You are?
Yes, I would.
Excellent, excellent. I'm glad. And then maybe Chirag can also stay back, and that'll be interesting.
I feel like the Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta, where he said the teacher has come to me. That's what I felt.
Yeah, it's a nice one. So in fact, I told even when I was there in Australia to all of them, you better get going with Shaniel. He just stays so close by. It's very nice to be associated with him because he has done meditation in terms of both sitting as well as he's doing something like what I'm trying to do. Mine is more totally slightly different, which makes some people very worked up. And when I saw him, I felt maybe I should be able to recommend him for those people who are hooked on to sitting meditation, so they can, or they want to see what is meditation. I think they should sit with Shaniel. I think that answers to our Ariu's basic aim of sitting meditation, and I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that, and it's a good thing. And at least for Bobby, he got the next door neighbor.
Yeah. No, actually, that is correct. What Vilas you were saying. Because what you are saying, Passa and Nirodha Samapatti and all. Is very high levels. So now sometimes we also it's something from the very basic. Even though when we start, it is that basic level of going still. Then when you reach this passa and all this and nirodha, so that is that will be helpful. But so maybe Shaniel, what when he was saying that from the very basic of watching the breath, it was actually helpful. So I think these both are a combination of working for me. So I just
Yeah. You require both of the guys. I don't dispute on that claim, but then for you it is most beneficial with Shaniel and also for Chirag and Aryu, because he is from ground up. Okay, so that's a very nice stable environment. I mean, he has done all of that.
Vilashi, like when you say that that whatever you are saying, the detailed explanation of the Dhamma, it is very very helpful. It is not that okay. It is that's why there's so much of clarity comes with when you practice. But for personally for me, if I don't actually sit and meditate, this clarity will not come. It's like Bahia, he said he heard that and he understood. Or so for like you yourself is saying it is Naya, right? So I think we need that basic practice also.
Yeah, you need. I don't dispute at all. It's a nice thing, especially he being with Chirag and Aryu, and he also being in Brisbane, and then he has allowed all of us to be associated with him. It's a real good thing. Think we should use it to the best of our, whatever ability, and then he has all that virtues that can make somebody cross over, and that's what I'm looking at when I say that he is most ideal, is that he can make you the crossover. Okay, whether I make it or he makes it really doesn't matter. We had to cross over. That's the objective of it. So even though I remain, but somebody who can literally do it with you all the
Yeah.
time is the best thing. I mean, like, because he stays there and you can go there and you can do it, rather than our video things and then you do your thing, I do my thing, and then it might not really get where we want it to be. So it's
No, like
nice.
see whatever you said, when I do other activities like walking, driving, everything I remember, all the time to be aware, and all this explanation of the suttas and all these things definitely help. But then I noticed that my sitting meditation was reducing, that way, which is also I think
Required.
gives more clarity. Yeah.
Required. Yes, 100% required, and that space is filled by Shaniel. I'm pretty
Yes, yes,
happy.
and he has a lot of patience also. Whenever after this meditation, when we do it, we have some discussion, how exactly we are feeling, and he has that skill in uh, like encouraging others, So and coming back to that basics. So that
Yeah,
is
I
that
don't
was
have
very
that.
helpful. I know
I
you
don't.
also have. What I mean is that combination is really working for me.
Yes, I'm just trying to pull your leg. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, you don't have to be defensive. It's
No, no.
fine.
What I'm saying is that I know I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. Absolutely. I'm really happy. And even on if you remember, Bobby, on 26, that's what I said. You need to get associated with Shaniel.
Yeah, you told me that, definitely.
Yeah.
Somehow,
And
like,
I've seen him all the days when he was here.
yeah,
At your home or Janak's home or at Viren's home or wherever he was, I was more looking at each one of you who can be a Kalyana Mitra for the
yeah,
other. And I found that he is the best person around.
mm,
Even for Sajal, if he gets in contact with him, I think it is going to help him a lot
yeah,
than his Vipassana of Goenka. So it is going to help him a lot in case if he wants to move around.
yeah,
Otherwise, it's fine with all of you.
yeah. And I told him,
So
but he's pretty doing every day, but he's very busy also, Yeah,
that's fine. I mean, it's fine. I mean, whoever can. But that's what I was looking at. Viren, I was evaluating him. He didn't meet the criteria. Then Janak, anyway, I knew it. I have seen you. So it was all about solving your problem, which made me to come to Australia. And then in that melee, I met Shaniel. So it was
Yeah.
nice. So I wanted someone who can be put there and all others can benefit. So I was trying to evaluate each one and see who can take that Dhamma, that light, the torch. So I was very
Yes, you
happy.
know, like, it's amazing how he's gone to America now, and helping.
Yes, so
Everything is
nice.
happening.
Yes.
So, and exactly, he's go. See, America is a huge country, right? But he's going to that particular place.
Yeah, that's
So,
fine. And it should work that way. So I wanted somebody, a torch bearer, okay, for all of us, on the other side of equation, where somebody
mashallah.
has struggled in understanding the Dhamma. So we require somebody who is basic, from the basic. So on 4th of April, when I saw him, I felt I found the person. If my intuition is not right, maybe it shouldn't be, but I saw in his eyes and felt that this is the guy I was looking for to run the torch. It's nice. It worked that way. So
Yeah,
I'm very pretty happy about it.
it's amazing how the
Yeah.
Dhamma works. Yeah.
Yes, it does work. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I just want to comment on Shaniel's teaching style. I think because he has understood that mind illuminated to such detail, and he forces us to go to the absolute basics, and then he would himself practice the basics, even though he can jump to much higher, and he will stay there for extended period of time just so he can relate to us, hearing this sound, that baby, Otherwise, we wouldn't even be talking to you. Oh, what is peripheral awareness? What have you heard? Because you've been going somewhere, right? I think
Yeah.
his way of getting down to the basics and staying with us help bring us up in a more, practical way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he doesn't need to write, but he starts from the ground up. Yeah.
I know that. Yeah, I know that. Yes, that's what I wanted. I wanted somebody who is grounded up from his work from top to bottom, because I have even though I get into the ground, I can't stay there because I want quickly to move into the arupa jhana. So I don't want to waste my time in getting into the nitty
I
gritty
think,
of it.
yeah, I think you want we all to go into that Arupa Jhana quickly, as quick as possible, right?
So when I saw him, I was seeing two. I was seeing that he fits the mantle, and the second one is that is he hunger? He's in hunger for arupa jhana, and I felt yes. So then I wanted to see how it works for him, how he can understand. Whichever I did with both of you, I mean you and Chirag, I have done that, like the driving, like the George, he picked it up, right? I didn't do anything much, but he was able to pick it up. Just at the corner, he said, got it. So that's how I wanted, actually. I didn't wanted to go to the down basics and say, come on, here is the drawing board. But I really wanted someone who has ground up, okay, from the ground. So it's nice. I mean, it's such a nice setup what we have. We have everyone around who can help each other in some way or the other, and that's amazing to have. I'm really, I have no words to express. I never expected. I told Shaniel, I never expected or even thought I'm going to meet a person in real with whom I can work. It's not about anything else. I wanted someone who has reached either at my level, closer to my level, or even ahead, because I also need someone to guide me that beyond this, because I'm going all by myself. There's no one to tell me anything. Okay, I have put my own effort, it's fine, but you also require somebody to guide you. So I was wishing that I need someone, at least an equal person with whom I can share. Did you get this or did you get that? And then if I don't have anyone, I'm just in maze. So I told him, I'm so happy that I could find one person who can work along with me. It doesn't matter whether he reaches arhat is the best thing. At least I know I have someone with whom I can trust. Yes, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking when you talk to us, it's only Nama. The Rupa is not there. So we hear.
Now you have the Rupa next to you, so you can hold him how much ever you want. Because now what you wanted to do in Bangalore, Ariu, about if you were to hug me and some strange thing is going to happen, maybe you have the person sitting next to you.
No, I just wanted to say too, like, I mean, everything that
yes, good.
everything that I'm showing them is complementary to what Vilasji is teaching, because I get a lot of benefit from his teachings as well, and it complements the things that I don't know or I haven't experienced. And the things he shows works, but they work for me very well because I've worked my way up from the ground up to a certain level where yes, I can try, and it's like, oh yes, I see what you're doing. So hopefully everybody else in this group will be able to slowly make their way to that level, and then they'll get even more benefit from Vilasji's teachings. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Very nice. But the happiness is that, especially from the Ariu's point of view, I've seen him in the deepest of depression with relation to this. Okay, he's like a son to me. I don't want him to get hurt a little bit. So I was wishing that either I do it or somebody does it for me. Especially the last visit of his to my home, we have argued on some stupid thing for 4 hours. And he's crying and crying. I don't know what to do with this son. And when I'm dropping at the airport, it was seemingly for me and my wife, we have lost our son. He's going to San Francisco, and I'm feeling so hurt that I'm missing my son. I don't know how to do it for him. And I was just wishing that let someone come in his life who can fill the gap, because what I'm saying, he's making some sense, but I know he has not understood what I'm trying to say. But he's on Dhamma, so something should work. So pretty happy. And same with Chirag. At least Chirag is more logical, and in the case of Ariu, he's more emotional. So you have best of two people, and then in Chirag, he keeps on going in round. So you'll have a fun ride. Okay, he will take it and he'll say maybe, he'll come back like this, and he would say, Chirag, I expect you to go straight, right? No, he'll go on the roundabout and he's back in the same place. So you'll be having some very funny state with him, but it's nice the way Chirag looks at very logical, and it should make sense, and there should be something coming up, all of that. It's good. I mean, I have seen, at least in Chirag and Ariu, and same with Bobby. Bobby is one guy, if he is convinced, he is on the complete throttle, but you have to reduce his throttling. Otherwise, he doesn't even stop. It's like, it's just going and going and going. And then I say, hey, Bobby, you've reached the end of this. Okay, come down. It's fun to work with. It's good. Good that you're filling the gaps, and amazing, really amazing.
Yeah, I think the only thing is, I think you might start calling you less Vilas.
Like I said, if none of them are going to be there with me, also I'm okay. None. Now, I mean, say if I'm supposed to close down this, and then I can keep on doing sermons on video, whether somebody listens to it or doesn't listen to it, it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I never expected Ariu also to be there with me. He's been there for the last 6 years now, but I never expected. I never went, because of the Discord forum, we started talking. Otherwise, I never expected that.
No, I think it is like what Shenil was saying. It definitely complements. Yeah. It is not like one or the other. And definitely, as the chariot, that thing, it is one leads to other, right? It is not that everything happens in one way. It is one condition to the other, unconditioned to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
So I think
that I agree, but I also agree with Chirag that now I have to keep on calling
No, I was
Harry,
I think you
saying,
know.
hey, Harry, how are you doing? He says that, yeah, Vilas, after you left, everything has become proper.
I think Rajin was I like pulling people's legs, so like you do.
Yeah,
I think I've never seen Vilachi anybody explaining suttas so beautifully than you. It is every key word. So you're so knowledgeable, and your way of explaining suttas and the Pali words. I don't think anybody can match, because I also met many people. It is no way anybody can match in you in that field. So that's the only thing we as a level very below level, we can't pick up many things. What do you want us to attain? You want to attain all the higher things very fast. So maybe that is not happening. Maybe that is the only thing. But for me, all the Pali, I was telling Merin the other day also, because of Vilachi, I've learned the suttas and all these Pali words so well. When I read something, I can confidently read that and go into the essence of that. And all those times I remember you. So your help is so valuable, and definitely you please continues to guide us. To
I'm going to, like you said,
yeah.
till my, now I can use this word, till my sinews were to go, till my blood were to dry, I'm going to do this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But you have to stretch your leg also, so that the air will flow.
Yeah. Yeah, got it. All right, then. Enjoy your night and enjoy your evening and, afternoon, Bobby. And thanks, everyone.
Everyone, Sarana, everybody.
Bye bye.